What's up, guys? It's your boy James, aka Six8Jay, coming to you on this, what is it, Tuesday? Good Lord, I need to learn my time here. It's 12 o'clock. We're right on time, guys. I'm super excited as we have a special guest. I'm a big fan of this guy's work. He's incredible, taking the crypto industry by storm. But before we get started, you know what we got to do. Recognize the Crypto for Life family. Brendan Dobbin, what's up, my brother? Just watch back NBA All-Star, not... You feel about it? How do I feel about the game? Well, you know, I just think that the NBA All-Star, they need to take a little bit more serious. I like back in the day when like Kobe and Jordan, those guys played. You know, they were very competitive. They didn't slack. You know, it's different. It's a lot different. But you know, the game changes. It's kind of like I was watching my son-in-law with the Pro Bowl, and that part I can't talk about. But I was watching him at the Pro Bowl, and they play flag now. So I remember Pro Bowl being a little bit different, but obviously they don't want those guys getting hurt. So I think it's very similar with the NBA All-Star game. They don't want people to get hurt and all those things, so it's understandable. Tiffany Serranos, what's up, sis? How you doing? Nicole's in the house. We got Rashad Williams, Zach Rector. That's right, legendary brothers in the house. My sister Liz, one of the greatest supporters on planet Earth. That's EARF. And that, you know, for those of you guys who don't know, you say, wait a minute, that's not how you spell Earth. It's E-A-T, it's E-A-R-T-H. But here we say E-A-R-F. It just means something special. You guys are special. That's all it means. Crypto Navigator in the house, Marvin Davis. What's up, Marvin Davis? How you doing, my brother? Huh? Good to see you. Yeah, we're going to get this thing started, guys. Before we do, let's take a look at the market. $1.97 trillion, guys. We got Bitcoin, 51,959. Bitcoin on fire. Are you doubting Bitcoin? You think we're in a bull run? We're going to talk about that in a minute. Ethereum, 29.79. Ethereum got past that resistance. Let's see if we can find, we can get past that and find support. It's testing that right now. BNB is at 353. Solana coming in at 107. XRP, good Lord, that's the topic. And no one better to discuss that than my special guest, my brother, Zach Rector, coming on in just a few, guys. ADA, 61 cents. We got AVAX at 38.24. Dogecoin, that old crazy dog, at 8 cents. Chainlink, was 20 cents. $20. Back down to 1914. Polkadot, 763. Don't fall asleep on Dot. I like Dot. That's one of those coins that, good Lord, made a lot of money on Polkadot. Guys, also, if you guys tune in for the first time and don't know my story, my name is James, aka Six8Jay. Been around crypto since 2017, documenting my journey in the evolution of money. That's right. Super excited about the space, guys, especially now. All these years we talked about mainstream adoption. Are we there? Are we there yet? Good Lord, I think so. Also, guys, nothing we talk about, myself or Zach, should ever be considered or deemed financial advice. I am not, no comprende, a financial advisor. That's for a little bit. I know a little bit of Spanish, poquito, not a whole lot. You would think being on part Puerto Rican, I would know more. What's up, Mike Owens? Mike Owens in the house. Ball or not? What's up, my brother? Kat, what's up, sis? How you doing? Greatest family on planet Earth. We appreciate you guys in a major way. Matic coming in at $1. We got ICP at 13.55. Shiba, 5 zeros and a 9. We've got IMX at 3.44, guys. We got Caswell at 17 cents. Optimism, layer 2, has not seen a bull run yet. Looking forward to that one doing some big things. It's at 408, up 10.99% over the last 7 days. Stacks, that's the ticker is STX. Stack it up, and you guys know about that all so well. Why? Because we play that song each and every day by Crypto Tales. Stack it up, super bullish. By the way, guys, I hope to see you guys out here May 3rd. And 4th in Las Vegas, Digital Perspective, DAI, Joe Katz, myself, maybe Zach Rector's going to be out there. We'll ask him about that, guys. Super bullish. If you guys don't remember, I just moved back to Vegas, so I'm definitely going to be there, right? Filecoin at 7.49, guys. We got H-bar at 10 cents. H-bar's been on fire. Good Lord, look at that. 32.68. H-bar. You got any H-bar? Don't FOMO. Don't FOMO. APT, 9.50. Near, let's make it clear, at 3.35. We got INJ at 36. XLM, 11 cents. Seen the move with his cousin XRP. Doesn't move alone. Just saying. VeChain has been on fire, guys. Don't sleep on VeChain. Not financial advice. But if you guys remember, we've been hollering from the mountaintop. Get VeChain. Yeah, hopefully you guys got a little bag of that. It's at 4 cents. OKB, $50.68. TIA, $17. We got Arbitrum, another layer 2. Has not seen a bull run yet, 196. SEI coming in at 92 cents, guys. We got RNDR, 606. Crow, if you didn't know, 9 cents. That thing back in 2021 was what, 96, 97 cents? Don't sleep on Crow. Hopefully you know. Let me stop. GRT right now is at 23 cents. Sue. That's what Gary Gibbs or Elizabeth Warren likes to do. Sue everybody. Well, guess what? We're waiting for that to end, huh? Hopefully get some settlement talk here in a little bit. We're going to talk about that with Zach here in just a little bit. 168 right now for Sue. Beat me up, Scotty, at 3 cents. The coin formerly known as EGLD, we call it Multiverse X, 58.93. Algo, a lot of great things happening on the Algo right now, guys. 19 cents, flirting with that 20-cent marks. Starknet, haven't heard of that one. Came out of nowhere, huh? Did that just launch? STRK? I don't know. It's at 210 right now. Number 54 in coin market cap. We got Ordi. Good Lord, did I sleep on that one? I think so. My son was telling me, Dad, get some Ordi. I was like, son, what is that? By the time I looked up, boom, it took off. $66 for that one, guys. We got Flow, if you didn't know, 91 cents. I would rap. You know, I always try to say a little flow, but, you know, I got Zach on here. I don't want him laughing at me. QNT is at 108. We got Theta at 119. Good Lord. Flare, that's FLR at 3 cents, guys. We got Sandbox, that Metaverse coin, coming in at 50 cents. 2 for $1? Almost, not quite. Hopefully you got a little bag of that. We've got XTZ, the OG, at 109. We've got, let's see, Mana, other Metaverse coin. You can get that 2 for $1, huh? Might make you want to holler if you got enough of it. ASTR, that's Astar, guys. If you guys want to check out all of our incredible videos, guys, make sure you go to our Crypto for Life page and see all the incredible content that we have. Anything from strategies, success stories, not so success stories, and incredible interviews like with my special guest that's coming on here today. By the way, guys, if you guys haven't seen it, you know that I pull some serious strings, guys. I want you guys to know, I pull some serious strings to get one of my special guests, good Lord, on this show. And I got a guest here. We're going to be bringing him home in a second. But for those of you guys who don't know, I had a special guest on the show a while back. For those of you guys that know that, Gary, D.A. Gensler. Gary D.A. Gensler was on the show. And D.A. meaning, you know, I don't want to say it too dumbass Gensler. He was on the show. If you guys want to check out the interview, it's right here. I know you guys probably said, what are you talking about? He was on the show. It's all comedy, guys. Appreciate you guys and made way and all your support. Make sure you guys check out all the incredible content that we have. Let's get back into it. Neo, 1261, guys. We got IOTA at 28 cents. Let's see. Bunk is still in the race right here, huh? Who talks about that one? WeMix right now is at 1212, and Gala coming in at number 100 on coin market cap. Okay, guys, let's get right into it. Let's see here. What do I got here? Before we actually bring this amazing gentleman on, I want to show you guys exactly who he is and why I'm so excited to have him on. Zach Rector, if you guys remember the documentary that they're putting together right now in regards to ETHgate, guess who was in that? My brother, Zach Rector. Let's check it out.
So I think you'll dig this as something that we made in the office on ETHgate. Gave a speech and they cashed it. And everybody recognizes that gentleman right there, Bill Hinman.
Is there a reason that every time they say his name, Bill Hinman, you think of corruption, huh? Is that what Gary was talking about when he said hucksters, fraudsters, tricksters? I think so. Let's keep it going.
Bill Hinman came to the stand in 2018 and gave his famous speech where he declared that Ethereum wasn't a security. The SEC tried to allege that all sales of XRP were an unregistered securities offering.
December 21st, Brad Garlinghouse came out and basically informed the world that they were soon going to be sued by the SEC.
SEC is preparing to sue that crypto startup for selling unlicensed securities.
Can you explain your view of whether Ethereum is a security or not, but then why you believe that Ripple is a security?
We don't get involved in these types of public forums talking about any one project.
We believe current offers and sales of Ether are not securities transactions.
The SEC is trying to capture the digital asset space. They went after Ripple and specifically XRP is because it was the biggest threat to the incumbent banking and financial system.
You know, the United States government is probably the biggest bully in the world. I read the complaint and it was terrible news. People are going to lose money and people had their life savings in XRP.
All right, welcome to Regulatory Capture 101, also known as ETHgate.
Also known as ETHgate. That's super exciting, guys. Without further ado, I've got to bring on this guy. You guys saw him in the video. I think he's actually a candidate for GQ magazine. Some people around the world might actually vote him one of the sexiest men alive. You guys help me welcome my guest, the man, the myth, the legend, my brother, Zach Rector. Are you there?
Yo, what's up, Jay? That is absolutely ridiculous, but I'll take it. Thank you, man.
You got my vote, brother.
Appreciate it. Yeah, man. I'm excited to connect with you and your community today.
Absolutely. You know what? I'm a big fan. Ran across your channel some time ago. Been sharing your content. I don't think there's a day that goes by that I don't watch. I always talk about my 5 top influencers that just keep it 100. That's what we do on the show. My background is, pro basketball. I've been in business for 25 years. Owned anything from several car lots, a whole chain of cell phone stores. Me and my wife owned a semi-pro basketball team before retiring and raising our 6 kids. Got into crypto in 17, was able to hit millionaire status shortly after that. And, decided, I got a lot of people said, Jay, you need to get on YouTube and start telling your story. I co-hosted with a friend of mine. And, after a lot of persuasion, I said, you know what, let's go on, because there's a lot of things in this industry that really bothers me. And I think the number one thing is people shilling and not taking responsibility for the content and the stuff that they say. And so, I didn't want to be the biggest. I wasn't trying to be the greatest. I just wanted to keep it 100 and come from a spot of being very authentic. And I think that's why I connect to people like yourself. It's why I connect to people like John Deaton when he talks about welfare and hard times and struggle, because that's where I came from. I was a welfare kid, struggle and all those things. So I definitely connect to him. So we're going to be talking about John Deaton in a minute. But what I want to do, Zach, a lot of people know you. I think you're taking the space by storm. One of the most recognizable voices and faces in the game. What I would like to first start by saying is just, how long have you been in crypto and what attracted you to it?
Sure. So I got in 2018 and I was wrapped into it up in the Bitcoin story. I call them the Bitcoin bros. And God bless them. I mean, we got to respect Bitcoin and the role that it played to get so many of us into the space.
Right.
And so I didn't beat you. I was a little after you, right? I got in 2018. And I think what attracted me was sound money, because I started studying the Federal Reserve back when I was in high school.
Wow.
I was trying to figure out what the heck's going on here in the world. And I figured out what this Federal Reserve was in 2012. And then I started studying sound money. And that's where, when I found cryptocurrency Bitcoin, it is a form of sound money. And I was really attracted to the entire space, but didn't know about any other cryptos until about a year into it. And that was in 2018, 2019 is when I transitioned into other coins. And as many people know, I'm a big fan of XRP, but definitely I respect Bitcoin, and I'm here for the freedom and the ability to have sound money compared to the fiat currency that's being destroyed every single day.
No, I definitely agree. And, you see a lot of people who, you either got people who are very Bitcoin maxi, I guess you would say, or big time, I can't think of the word I'm looking for right now, but they're really, really attracted to Bitcoin. Or you got people who hate on Bitcoin. I think one of the reasons that people hate on Bitcoin is because it's out of reach, right? If you were able to get into Bitcoin at 0.003 or, for $1 or a few dollars or $100, whatever, obviously you would probably feel different. But there's a lot of other coins like XRP that have way more value as far as what they do and problems that they solve and things like that. So I'm with you on that. I do hold Bitcoin. I'm an advocate for Bitcoin and what it represents. I think right now we're still in that connection where, when Bitcoin moves, we move. If it, I always say when it dips, we dip, just like that, right? So I think we're still connected to that. But I think at some point we will definitely see certain assets like XRP and many others detach themselves from Bitcoin once we start getting that institutional adoption of things that we need. So, you came into this industry, you were attracted to Bitcoin, you started at a very young age. I mean, I commend you for that. That's crazy. In high school, you were looking at stuff like that. But what specifically attracts you? And you don't have to get too much into it, but just what was that attraction out of all the thousands of coins, man? I know you've seen a lot of them in your time, as have I, and I'm pretty well diversified. But why XRP? What was that thing that made you say, there's something special here? Was it that financial background or what? What made you understand that XRP is that asset?
It was the abuse of our reserve currency status privilege that the United States has had, and watching us flex our muscles across the world instead of, negotiating on a level playing field, exchanging trade in a way that benefited both sides. We've just enforced our will. And I didn't like seeing that. And then you start to realize how big of our debt problem, and obviously we've seen it grow exponentially lately. But this is what attracted me to the space, and what attracted me to XRP specifically is because XRP can serve as a neutral bridge currency. This is what the world needs. This is, I think, what the central banks need to connect with their ideas of CBDCs or different stable coins. And so we need a neutral bridge currency. The US dollar, although it's still used as the dominant reserve currency, it's losing that share. And you could make the argument that Bitcoin's going to take a piece of that action. You could argue, obviously, I am that XRP is going to take a piece of that action. But for me, XRP and what this represents kind of concludes the grand conspiracy. When you figure out what the Federal Reserve is, it is one big conspiracy, and it is real. Right. It's not just a theory. They met on a private island, a group of private central bankers that are not part of our government, and they've basically controlled our country ever since.
Wow.
And so it's not just a matter of ourselves freeing ourselves from that group and their agenda, but also worldwide. You see the need and the fact that these countries are being now forced to ditch the dollar, right. And they're ditching it in two ways. There's two aspects to a reserve currency. One as a means of settlement transaction, and then another as a store of value. So as far as a settlement currency, they're trying to get away as fast as possible. DLT technology is going to help complete that process. We look at China. They're offloading our bonds. They're not showing up. And meanwhile, our government set to issue 10 trillion worth of bonds this year. And here in April, we're set to have our largest bond auction ever.
Wow.
So that's what interested me so much about XRP.
Wow. Well, it's funny because it's one of the things that attracted me to your show, to who you are. We pride ourselves on keeping it 100. That's exactly what you do. You talk about the real issues in this space, and specifically around XRP. And I agree with you. I think, Elizabeth Warren, Gary Gensler, obviously there's a control agenda here. I always talk about keeping people not as a certain race, but as a people as a whole held hostage. I would always use the word enslaved to a system where we're dependent on it. We do just enough, not to get fired. They pay us enough not to quit, and then we look forward to, let's retire on a little bit of what barely got us by in the first place. And they want to keep us in that just really ridiculous circle of life. And the thing that really attracted me to XRP, or I would say crypto as a whole, in short, was I had done some things in life that defied the odds and so forth, but I loved it because it was the fairest form of capitalism I've ever seen. And the second thing, to me, it allowed people to dream again. It wasn't about someone being my height, 6'8". It wasn't if you can sing like, Elton John, or if you could throw a ball like Joe Montana, or dunk it like Michael Jordan. To me, it was like, all you have to do is pay attention. That moment that we always talk about. Oh, I missed Microsoft. I missed Apple. I missed Tesla. I missed Airbnb. Well, there's no more excuses. There's the greatest opportunity that we will ever see, in my opinion, in our lifetime, is cryptocurrency. And so that's really the thing that attracted me to it. And it's one of the things that attracts me to your show, is that you just keep it 100 with all those things. Now, in saying that, the control, the corruption, the manipulation, it brings up a very needed topic. And I want to talk about the elephant in the room, this soldier, this person who's been an advocate for XRP, for the XRP community. He says that the 75,000, all these different things. One of the greatest voices and one of the greatest advocates of this space, John Deaton. What is your thoughts on John Deaton and the fact that, it went from a rumor a couple of days ago, is this really happened, till officially today? And I saw you exclusively break out the story this morning about him running against Elizabeth Warren. What does that mean to crypto, XRP, and to those of us who have been, in my opinion, mistreated in the space and manipulated?
Yeah, so I think that John is an absolute patriot. He's a bulldog. He's a Marine, and my grandfather was a Marine, so I have a special respect for that. And I said in my show this morning, right, that I've been standing behind John Deaton, letting him lead the charge, but I've been doing, I've been following my orders. Well, right. and he's one of the leaders in this space. And what's important for everybody to understand, this is not just about XRP. This is not just about the SEC versus Ripple.
That's right.
As you said, there's been damages done to the entire digital asset space. But wait, it gets even bigger. This is damage done to the capital markets in the United States of America. Jay, we used to have the gold standard of currency. We were backed by gold, and the gold standard of capital markets.
Right.
Everybody wanted to come public, and they still really do. But we've really tainted and damaged, in particular, the digital asset space in the United States of America has this big dark cloud over it where no one feels safe to operate.
Right.
Even if you're trying to be legitimate, transparent, and follow the regulations, they still come in and backdoor you. Meanwhile, what we've seen is a system of picking winners and losers. Right. And we have a weaponized bureaucracy beast, is what I call it. And it's not just the SEC. There's many other three-letter agencies that have been weaponized against the American people.
Right.
And this isn't what we want. You know, we have laws, we have regulations, and it's so that we can have a free market for the most part. Like you said, we used to have the gold standard of capital markets, and I want us to see the United States maintain that and embrace digital assets in a way that we're the gold standard of capital markets for the digital asset space as well. You know, you mentioned this transfer of wealth. I call it the greatest transfer of wealth in world history.
That's right.
You have a fourth industrial revolution with this technology that's underway, but then you also just have a demographic cycle, you have a liquidity cycle, you have a debt cycle, currency life cycle that's all converging right now.
Right.
And this is why it's not just I'm throwing that out there as a marketing term to hype this up. By the numbers, it's also the greatest transfer of wealth in world history.
Absolutely.
And this is what I've been saying to everyone is we want to make sure that we get on the right side of this transfer. Americans lost almost, I think, 5 or 6 trillion worth of equity in their homes and their portfolios last year.
Wow.
And so the transfer of wealth's already underway. You just got to make sure you're on the right side of this thing. And if you're wondering what transfer of wealth are you talking about, you might be on the wrong side, and we need to fix that, which is why we got folks like yourself and what I try to do every single day. And it's unfortunate, Jay, to bring this back full circle that we've had to put up this legal battle. It's hard enough to run a business, to, feed your family these days with this inflation, let alone having to go fight our own government. And look at Ripple having to spend $200 million. And so God bless the team at Ripple and their lawyers. They got some legal assassins. And then we got out here in the community, a group of Americans that just care about saving this country. And that's what John Deaton set to do. And I hope that we can all support him across this country to take that seat from Elizabeth. I got a plan for that, Warren. And as you mentioned, she's definitely got a plan. It ain't the program that I'm trying to play with, but I'm glad to see John Deaton standing up.
No, I couldn't have said that better. And, here's one of the things that gets me, it's all this talk, like, especially now that Deaton's going against her, she feels like she's being picked on because all she's tried to do is protect the American people. And for myself and many of the people that are in the stream and many of your patrons as well, does it feel like we're being protected, or does it feel like we're in a country that's not loving us as much as maybe, I don't know, El Salvador president, or Argentina's, when they're saying no tax and they're doing everything to uplift their people and give their people the opportunity to win. I always say this, Zach. To me, crypto, if I could define crypto in this phrase, it'd be it allows people to dream again. And I don't think they want people dreaming. I think they want you to stay in this damn matrix where, they control you, and, anytime you need something, they'll give you a little assistance or whatever the case may be. Crypto is the epitome of people dreaming again. So many people lost that. When we were coming up, we thought we're going to be this, we're going to be that. We get responsibilities. I started having kids at a young age. I had to get whatever it was. Crypto allows people to dream again. They don't want free thinking people. They don't want people to be have the opportunity to win. Your comment on that.
Just look at this SEC versus debt box case as an example. They got caught falsifying information and lying to the court, the SEC and their lawyers.
Wow.
And in response, they don't, they say, we're going to change things up at the staff. We're going to have some new internal policies. No, you guys need to be held accountable. And we just saw the opposition to that motion to dismiss, because what they did is they tried to wave the white flag and surrender and say, yeah, you're right. We did falsify and lie. We did seize their assets and have restraining orders placed on them.
Right.
But now if you could just dismiss this case, we're really sorry about this. Oh, and by the way, dismiss it without prejudice so we could potentially sue them again down the road. So these are the dirtiest, crooked deals that we've ever seen.
Wow.
And it's a culture problem, I believe, under Gary Gensler's SEC. And it's because he's bought and paid for. I call him good guy Gary Gensler, because just like Elizabeth Warren, they try to come and act like they're protecting you and saving you and helping you.
Yeah. And
it's the furthest thing from the truth when we see how they have stifled American innovation. Terrible.
Now, here's the thing. I can't remember the company. And maybe you can recollect the company, but I watched your video this morning. You were talking about how they lied against that company. There's another company that they put out of business, like a streaming company, right? They put them out of business right before all this stuff started happening. Library, there you go. And it's amazing to me how everyone that tried to do things right. I mean, Brad Garlinghouse said he tried to get many. No, he actually had an interview with the SEC. He didn't even take lawyers. He said, "Hey, I'm an open book. I'm gonna show you guys what we got." And then you had Coinbase. They said they tried up to 30 times, and they finally had to file a lawsuit just to get some kind of clarity. Like where is that in our best interest? It all seems like this overall drive by the SEC to really just disrupt the market. Why do you feel they're doing that? Why haven't they embraced American companies that are trying to do the right thing? What's the agenda behind that, in your opinion?
Well, I think it's money and power. I think that they are allowing the biggest scams and frauds to blow up. Just look at FTX as an example.
Wow.
They were best buddies receiving all the donations. And then when it goes bust and then the users are left holding nothing in their hands, right? Then they get to go after and parade that they took down Sam Bankman-Fried, that they took down CZ. I love listening to Janet Notel and Yellen call it Binance, right? They can't even pronounce the companies right, but they're coming to collect billions of dollars.
Right.
And what the SEC's doing is they're coming into this space under the gray cloud of uncertainty and no clarity, and they're picking off the biggest companies that they can get at.
Right.
Instead of going after what is, to me, very clear laws that were broke with many ICOs. And what that was raising funds when a product in some cases hadn't even been built.
Wow.
And go look at the Bitcoin documentary that's now on Netflix as a prime example. They raised millions of dollars without even having a product built. That clearly was violating the SEC securities laws.
Right.
But they only come in after the fact. They never protect investors or stop these things in their tracks.
Right.
So they really don't protect us. And they were created back in the 30s, right? After the Great Financial or the Great Depression, which was another cycle that really was allowed to blow up. Once again, if you want to go, how was it funded? It was funded through the Federal Reserve.
Right.
That led to the Roaring 20s and that whole hype cycle. Funny enough, we kind of find ourselves in a similar environment. And the SEC's loving this.
Right.
They have endless work to be had. They have thousands of companies that violated the laws that they can go after. But to me right now, they're going after what's going to get them the most attention and the most money.
Right.
And they're not going to really help us get any sort of clarity in the meantime. They prefer being able to just continue their attacks one by one. And they've been going after Ripple was one of the biggest. Obviously, Coinbase, now Grayscale had to sue them as well. They're going after some of the biggest players. Look at Kraken, for example.
Yeah.
They get Kraken to settle up for their staking services. They pay a multi-million-dollar fine, over 10, 20 million, something like that, for staking. And then they come back 10 months later and sue them again, saying that 16 of your tokens are securities.
Wow.
So these guys are cutthroat killers.
Big time. Big time.
You know?
And what is it about the SEC or maybe even about us that we allow things to kind of go, I guess, undisputed? Like, for an example, you talked about Sam Bankman-Fried, you talked about FTX, and you talk about how, now he's in prison. Obviously, they found him guilty on all these charges. How did we allow the fact that they dropped the part where they were going to disclose where some of the money went as far as politicians in Congress? How do they get away with that? How do they get away with lying in court? And I mean, if that was Ripple, oh my gosh, this would be crazy. If that was Coinbase, it would be. I mean, how do they get away with little things like that? Oh, we don't need it. We'll drop that part of the case. Who got paid? What? So people's money that were stolen and given to politicians, you're going to drop that part? I mean, like, how do we allow these things to happen?
It's funny because they want to parade and act like they've, saved the day. They come in, but in that they actually are doing a cover up as well. And this is where they're trying to cover up all those donations. And that's part of the case that was getting sealed up. So they don't want to allow the full truth to get out. They want to come in, be able to cheerlead the victory, parade Sam Bankman-Fried out there. We just saw his first picture in jail, came out yesterday. That's going viral. And it doesn't look like he's having a good time.
Not at all.
But he has about zero sympathy for me. But to your point, they're coming in, they parade it around and cheerlead it while they also commit the cover up to hide the fact that, they were well aware of what was happening and they were getting paid on the back end too. These people are sick. They have no shame. And what's interesting to watch is how much of a fight they're willing to put up here as they get exposed. We've got them. And we just got to continue applying this pressure. unfortunately, this is how it has to be done until Congress gives us clarity. We're having to fight it out in the courts, but just go look at what Ripple was able to accomplish. The tokens in it of themselves are not securities.
Right. Right.
So in most instances, these tokens are not securities.
Right.
Maybe the ICO was a securities offering, and that's where the SEC needs to go. But instead of doing that, they're going after companies like Ripple that didn't even conduct an ICO.
Right.
Right.
No, that makes a lot of sense. And no one, I don't think anyone feels bad for Sam Bankman-Fried, Do Kwon, or anyone like that. We actually had a little song that we made up in the chat here. It was like, "Don't drop the soap, don't drop the soap, baby." Let me stop. Good Lord. All right, let's keep it going, Dak. I don't know. I haven't finished writing that yet. All right, so let's.
I got no comment on that, but
me neither. Okay,
yeah.
So I want to go in and show you. You did a phenomenal video this morning, and it talks about John Dean. I want to play it just for those of you guys who don't know. Please go over. I actually had Zach's, let's see, I had him up here as far as his X page. Make sure you follow him, one of the greatest voices in the space. And also I want to show your YouTube channel, and let's see what Zach was talking about this morning, special update.
All right, folks, this is bigger than XRP. We've been saying this is about saving our country. And now we have one of our generals on the legal battlefield who is stepping up to take Elizabeth Warren head on. That's right, folks. Let's get right on into it. This is breaking news as of today. Official confirmation from Deaton and the campaign that we can now call it, right? The Deaton campaign has announced it is official. He is going to be taking on Elizabeth Warren. Let's get right on into this update. I appreciate everyone for stopping by, and everything can be found at my website, ZachRector.com. Let's rock and roll.
ZachRector.com. You guys make sure you check that out. Now, Zach, I have a question for you. Anyone ever tell you have like a radio or TV voice? It's like one of those announcer voices. That's amazing. Let's see here. There's something I want to pull up here. Where is it at here if I can find it? So there is a link now, I guess, for those of you guys that want to go and support John Deaton. It looks like JohnDeatonForSenate.com. You can go there to donate. Look, guys, we're 100% behind him. I'm definitely going to make it my business to donate. I support him. I actually was one of the people that signed up for the $75,000 that he represented. Anything that this guy does, I'm a part of it. I was in Vegas last year, 2023. Got to see him, Brad, and all those guys at the Vegas event, and I'm looking forward to this year's Las Vegas event. By the way, Zach, are you going to be able to make it to that, or are you promoting that by any chance?
Oh, I'll definitely be there for sure. I don't know how I missed you. You know, there's only a couple people that are taller than me at Vegas, and I don't know how I missed you, man.
Oh, you got some height on you then. How tall are you?
About 6'3".
Okay, that's a good height actually. So yeah, 6'8". It's funny because I was there, had enjoyed the lunch, and it was so profound. I tell people who are looking, of maybe they're debating on going or not. It's definitely, if you want to know how special this event is, you have to be there. If you want to know how special Ripple, XRP, and just to me, it was profound because I used to speak as well. I don't know if you've seen any of the work that I've done. I've been on some of the biggest stages around the world, and been in, recognized for in magazines and things. It's on the very front of it's pinned to my channel, and I said there's nothing that I've ever felt like being at that event, just being around like-minded people. And we're not talking about just the everyday average. Yeah, there was your everyday average Joe, but I mean, there was movie stars, actors, lawyers, financial advice. I mean, just so many people that were there from all walks of life, very, very professional people, and they were all gung-ho about XRP. So it was just, to me, it was very surreal. Did you get that last year when you were there?
Yeah, 100%. Brad and his team, they absolutely killed it, and they're going to make it even bigger and better this year.
Wow. So now, in addition to that, I want to ask you this. Stephen Narrow, big guy, a lot of things that he holds as far as the key to ETH and things like that. Won't get too much into it other than, asking you your thoughts on him. I'm a big fan. And also, how did you get on that documentary? Did they come after you just because of who you are and what you represent and your knowledge in the space?
Yeah. So they invited me on there just because I've been in the XRP community making content about it for a few years.
Nice.
And it was a pleasure. A huge shout out to Chris, Maya, and their whole team for putting that together. It's going to be amazing. As far as Steven, I think that it really validated our story, which is not that we want to see Ethereum go down. We just want a level playing field. That's all we asked for. Right. And what they did with Ethereum was corrupt. It was wrong. And, it is kind of part of our problem here in the crypto space is that they created a token factory that got the founders rich and allowed for tens of thousands of crap tokens to be created.
Right.
And that's brought us to where we're at in the crypto space today, where the 10% of legit projects solving real problems and building real businesses get overshadowed and drowned out by the scams and the fraud and the crap, right?
That's right.
And I think that Steven is going to do a great job in the documentary. He's now been added as well. And what the documentary is going to do is it's going to cover XRP, how great the technology is, what it's going to be used for. But then on the other side, you got to talk about this SEC versus Ripple case. And then the ETHgate part of the story has to be included as well. And the reason why I'm excited that they're doing that is because that's going to help expand the audience out to people outside of just crypto.
Yeah.
When you got Juicy corruption, he literally got, picked up and thrown in a van.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a scene out of the movies.
Yeah, crazy.
That Steven Narioff went through, and it was all fake. It wasn't true, and the truth is all now coming out, and it really exposes kind of the Ethereum group and kind of what they were behind. And I was going to make the point, we just saw an ETH disguised whale cash out today. Mm-hmm. Right as Ethereum went above $3,000 per ETH, we saw that an old wallet from like 8 years ago,
right,
with this ETH ICO, right? It wakes up, sends, and it cashes out 5 million from Kraken of ETH that hadn't been touched since the early ICO.
Wow.
So we still have disguised whales, and we have no idea who these guys are, how much they hold, when they're going to dump on us, and that's just one of the unsettling parts of kind of that whole story for me. And like I said, it's not that I want ETH to go down. No. It's just we want a level playing field.
And that's the best way to say it. I hold ETH. I hold Bitcoin. You don't want to see it go down. It's not a direct attack on anyone that's holding ETH or builders and things like that. What it is we just want the truth. We want the truth, and we want an even playing field. And why do they get a free pass when what makes them different? Yes, they had an ICO. And I love Steven Narrow's some of the stories that he has as far as in that video that he actually released, where he was warning for hey man, you guys are doing some things that are unethical, some things that could be deemed securities. And so I think that documentary is going to be huge for crypto, all of crypto, because like you said earlier, it's not just XRP, it's not just Ripple. It brings clarity and the truth that I think will help all of crypto be able to move forward in a positive direction. The next thing I want to ask you, Zach, is let's see here. Would you agree? Obviously you agree Ripple's a solid company, and where do you see XRP in the short and long term? And the reason I ask that question is because there's so many people right now that are allowing FUD to knock them out of their positions. And that's one of the worst things that you can do is let somebody FUD you out of your bags. And I've seen, and I won't name names, I actually got some messages from people who sent me these guys who were big time XRP whales and big time XRP influencers now talking down. People are running, people are selling. It's like what's going on? Like, where's the faith at? So, one, XRP being a strong company. Two, what do you see it in the short and long term, and what do you say to people who are getting scared?
The fundamentals have only gotten better from my perspective.
Yeah,
that's just it, right? The lawsuit's drawn out over 3 years, and that's been frustrating. Obviously, we haven't seen price action like we wanted. It didn't go to a new all-time high last bull run. And so as far as the short and the long of the price, I'll just answer directly, right? For me, XRP needs to catch up with the rest of the space, which means that it needs to do at least probably 2 or 3x from the previous all-time high.
Right.
And the previous all-time high, depending on which exchange you're asking, you're around a little over $3.
Right.
And David has explained that I don't want to complicate it, but it was probably even less than that, depending on the exchanges that you're pulling from. But for sake of easy math, let's just say it was $3.
Right.
Right, XRP only went to $2 during 2021. It was suppressed, and both XRP and XLM didn't achieve new all-time highs.
Right.
And so to see these coins catch up with the rest of crypto, we need to at least do a 2 to 3x of that previous all-time high. And I believe that will be achieved this bull run. We have clarity. It's in a very unique position, the cryptocurrency XRP.
Right.
But then when you look at this company, Ripple, Jay, there's no other company out there with such a war chest of an asset that gets really interesting when you get down to it. Now let's be clear. There are obviously behemoths in the space right now that are commanding trillion-dollar market caps. We're talking about NVIDIA, Amazon, Google, the Magnificent Seven that has kept the entire equity and stock market propped up to this very day. Those are behemoth giants. Now, when you look at Ripple and the potential for them to IPO, this gets very exciting for me. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. But what gets very interesting for me, Jay, is simple math. When you look at the XRP that Ripple holds in their escrow, it's about 40 billion, give or take some, right? They have more outside of their escrow, but I just want to make our math easy. Let's just say that they have 40 billion. At a 50-cent XRP, right? That's worth 20 billion. Okay. So if they IPO with a 50-cent XRP, they are IPOing with literally 20 billion worth of liquid assets that is marked at zero on their balance sheet based off of GAAP accounting. Generally accepted accounting practices. Because they don't have the ability to use that XRP, right? It gets released from the escrow to them. On their balance sheet, their financial statement, that escrow is denominated at zero.
Wow.
Now, anybody who understands the escrow, understands XRP and Ripple, their control of that escrow, understands that's 20 billion of value that they have at no cost basis. Their cost basis is zero. Well, the largest IPO that was ever done in the world was Saudi Aramco at 25.6 billion.
Jeez.
When XRP goes to just $1,
wow.
If Ripple were to IPO at Ripple, just XRP being just $1, you're talking about that war chest being worth what, 40, 50 billion?
Jeez.
Double the largest IPO that's ever been done. That's an exciting value proposition for me.
Mind-boggling.
That's just looking at the escrow. That's not even including their software business, the bank service, the services that they're offering to banks and institutions. Then what have they just done? They've acquired Medico for institutional grade custody, and now they've acquired a trust company, Standard Custody and Trust. What does this get them? If this deal goes through and gets approved by the regulators, they will now have a custody and trust company that allows them to hold or custody not just digital assets, but even real world assets as well. You're talking cash, bonds, whatever you want. And what the difference between a trust and a bank is going to take in the deposits and give out loans against them. A trust is more secure because it's just holding your assets, right? It's not lending out against them. So Ripple's literally setting themselves up to be a lender of last resort in this coming debt and liquidity crisis.
Wow.
That's an exciting opportunity. And like I said, the fundamentals have only gotten better from my perspective. Despite all the noise that people are making about XRP price, what about the fundamentals? They've never looked better.
So does that go back to the saying, know what you hold?
Folks need to know what they're investing in.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, and I mean that's mind-boggling. I see people asking so many questions. For those of you guys that want to know more about that, the IPO aspect of it, and all the things that Zach just talked about, go over to his Facebook page. He has phenomenal insight and overview of all those things. So definitely go over there and support Zach's channel and what he's doing. So yeah, what do you? I guess one of the a few final questions is, where do you see crypto as a whole? It's undeniable, and I'll say this: when I look at the price of Bitcoin, when I look at Bitcoin ETFs, where they were saying BlackRock is buying 500 million a day or something like that, or I can only imagine what in its entirety what is being bought up faster than miners can actually mine it, right? So where do you see crypto in the next 5 years? I've always said that I think the sweet spot for crypto would be 25 to 30. As we're still going through 24 with all this regulatory uncertainty and things like that and lawsuits, where do you see crypto in the next 5 years?
Yeah, I believe that we're in the beginning phases of a commodity super cycle, and I include crypto commodities in that. Now, I don't want to get into the definitions, but I believe that XRP is a currency and a commodity just like gold.
Wow.
Where you can use it as a currency to settle a transaction, but you also can get additional utility value out of it as well, just like a commodity. So I believe that we're in the early innings. The run up here in 2024 and 2025 is the next wave up. That's the next bull run cycle. But then, yeah, watch for us to probably have some sort of correction after that. We're going to see regulations pass in the United States and every other jurisdiction over the next couple years. We're going to see CBDCs actually roll out. And this is really going to accelerate on the journey towards that 2030. And so if you just look at the liquidity the liquidity cycle, it correlates with the Bitcoin halving cycle perfectly. So is it the Bitcoin halving cycle that's actually driving Bitcoin, or is it the liquidity? Well, I'd say it's a little bit of both, right? Wow. The halving cycle plays into it, but if you go back on the liquidity cycle, it goes back decades, and it's this wave, right? Well, we're heading back up into another wave up. And I'll tell you right now, just real simply, Jay, my thesis is that we're not seeing that the banking crisis is over. We are seeing the New York Community Bank just the last couple of weeks, right? Almost went bust. The banking crisis is not over. The liquidity crisis on the back end is real. It is breaking right now. And we also have World War III, current events. We don't need to go into detail on that, but it's a pretty incredible time to be alive. Why do I bring this up? Because I think that something breaks. I think that the market corrects. I'm talking about crypto. I'm talking about the traditional equities and stock market. We get a correction, but we're in an election cycle.
Right.
And anybody who thinks that the Fed doesn't play politics, I think that they don't understand how this deal operates.
Right.
And I believe that what they're going to do in response to whatever break, whatever crash, dip, we'll get to find out what it is here soon, I think. The Fed opens back up Powell's Pandora's box is what I call it. And that's the money printer, and that's cutting interest rates, and that's going to send us back up into this next wave, this next liquidity wave that takes us through this bull run, 2024, 2025.
Makes sense.
And so this is where I expect the overall cryptocurrency space to probably 2x the previous all-time high as far as the market cap of the entire space, which was 3 trillion. So if we double up, we're talking 5-6 trillion.
Wow.
And we do 2 to 3x, probably somewhere in there. I think that we double it though with ease just to stay conservative. From 3 trillion overall market cap to 6 trillion, and that's this bull run. But then this is part of a bigger cycle that takes us out to 2030.
Wow. And you said something that kind of reminded me of this. I've always said if there's I don't know if you're familiar with the game of spades. It's a card game. And, the two unbeatable cards are King of Spade and Ace of Spade. And I always said I felt like, when we're being in this crypto industry, you can't be like a horse with blinders on. You just can't look at, what's going on with crypto? You got to look at everything that's going on globally. You hear stories of Evergrande and other companies in South Asia, in Asia that are what is like 300 billion for Evergrande. This other company was like 200, so it's like 500 billion in liquidations and things like that they're talking about. And then somehow Tether is a part of that. And so I always thought the Ace of Spades or the King of Spades for me was ETHgate, and the Ace of Spades for me was if Tether ever had a full-on audit. And then you saw the other day there was something where Circle, USDC, lobbied to Congress to say, hey, you guys need to look into Tether for this, that, and everything else. It's like, oh my God, is this not Binance talking, on FTX all over again, where you got competitors trying to knock each other out of the game? So, I really believe that a Tether implosion or a Tether downfall or whatever you want to call it could have a negative impact and possibly cause some type of maybe healthy, necessary pullback in the market. Your thoughts?
Yeah, so this is coming out right now. It's so funny that you mentioned this because what happened is Deltec Bank, which is out of the Bahamas, what they were doing is they were giving short-term loans to Alameda, which was the investment fund ran by Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX, right? It was all kind of one big Ponzi scheme.
Wow.
But Deltec Bank out of the Bahamas was offering FTX and Alameda short-term loans in Tether. It was a short-term credit facility. And what it was sometimes it was up into the billions worth of Tether that they were loaning to Sam and his investors to bet against us. So what they were doing is they were getting all the order books off of basically off of FTX. They were reading all your trades.
Wow.
And then they were getting short-term loans in Tether to bet against you. It wasn't enough to run a Ponzi scheme for Sam Bankman and the gang. They also were so evil that they wanted to bet against his own users as well.
Wow.
Now, this ties back Tether. Okay. The word on the street always was is that Evergrande was a large holder, and basically that Tether was a large holder of Evergrande bonds.
Right.
Evergrande, it's so funny. The same people that said that Evergrande was a big nothing burger, right, are now eating their words, because now we're watching a $300 billion liquidation is set to occur.
Wow. That's crazy.
And if you don't think that there's going to be ripple effects from that, you got another thing coming. Because it's not just Evergrande over in China. You can look at Country Garden. The largest real estate developers in that country are all going bust.
Big time.
And it's a massive part of the Chinese economy, and their stock market's already dropped 40, 50%.
Yeah.
So it's already spreading. And this is what we've been talking about from my analysis as well. If Tether can show the reserves, that's great. But they've had shady auditing firms out of the Cayman Islands or the Bahamas, probably the same buddies that FTX were using, right, to audit their books. We need a legitimate audit, a legitimate third-party audit. And if they have the reserves, then that's great, right? They swear that they didn't have exposure to Evergrande. We'll find that out eventually, I guess. But nonetheless, it's going to be interesting, as you noted, this crypto space, these guys are willing to sacrifice each other, right? So Binance and CZ was able to take out Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX, but he also went down in the process.
Right.
So
And
that's where we're at.
And do you guys understand why I'm so excited to have this guy on? Why my brotherly love meter just went up for Zach? Right, because he's saying everything that we've been saying on this show, just validating and adding even a lot more special sauce to it. So I'm super excited. Zach, we always like to acknowledge people here in the group, so I'm gonna take a moment to do that if you don't mind. Crypto Tales in the house, Liz Herrera, my sister's in the house, Brendan Dobbin, Nestforce. We've got Marvin Davis. We got Earth Angel. Welcome, sis. Appreciate you in a major way. Blockchain Monkeys, legendary. Blockchain Monkeys. One of the most bullish songs that I play here each and every day. We'll probably give you guys a little bit of it here in just a little bit. Cats in the house. We've got JC in the house, my brother. Welcome, JC. Tiffany Serranos is in the house. We've got, let's see, who else is in here? Bullish Bird. Appreciate you guys. There's so many names. Can't read them all, guys. Appreciate you guys in a major way. We've got Zach Rector, guys. Make sure you guys go over to his Twitter, his X page. I still want to call it Twitter. It's Zach Rector. You can also go to zachrector.com. Go over to his YouTube page. I watch it each and every day. I told you guys before, some of my top favorite influencers. He's definitely one of them, guys. Make sure you check it out. And for all of you guys that are a part of the Crypto for Life family, the Zach Rector family, you know what? I got a little song for you. Here it goes. This is for you. Woo!
Hey, look, 4 years and it's still no cheers. If fear selling and I'm still all in. What do you do when your freedom is in illusion? How high will it go when the XRP get the moon in? It's amusing when you know that you ain't losing. Going back to go back, got them choosing. Which one? Bag it up. This one.
Greatest family on planet Earth, guys. We got Zach Rector. I appreciate you, brother, being on the show. I think the last thing I want to talk about, before I get to the last thing, as far as your final comments, what made you start? Now, you got in this thing in 2018. You're very bullish on the space. Obviously invested in Bitcoin. Fell in love with the opportunity with XRP and Ripple. What made you start your own YouTube show? I mean, you came out of nowhere. I mean, obviously you've been doing it for a while, but you're just exploding to all new highs right now. What made you? Was it just a passion for telling the truth? What got you motivated to start your own show, and when did that happen?
I'm glad you asked. It's a funny little story. You know, I got motivated when Twitter kicked me off back in 2021. Basically, Twitter kicked me off for no reason. I really was only posting crypto content, and that really ticked me off. And so I said, okay, now that I'm off Twitter, where am I going to go next? And so I decided, you know what? I've been wanting to make content. And I saw on TikTok that no one was really sharing the truth about XRP. There's a lot of misinformation and disinformation. And back then in 2021, there was a whole lot of shills, as you mentioned earlier. And I just wanted the truth to be told about XRP. And I knew that I had a decent understanding about current events and markets as well. So that encouraged me. Twitter gave me the boot and I said, okay, let's go to TikTok. I did TikTok for about a year and then I started my YouTube at the end of 2021. Oh, wow. And then have just been pushing that hard ever since to try to get folks on the right side of the transfer of wealth that I mentioned earlier. That's really my objective here.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I think you add a lot of value to the crypto space as a whole, specifically for those who are searching for the right way, for the right answers, for clarity, XRP community, XRP army. And definitely go over here to Zach's page, Zach Rector. Again, ZachRector.com. You can go over here to his YouTube as well. So, guys, make sure you support Zach. The last thing I want to say, Zach, or ask is anything else you want to add to this, anything that's coming up. Do you know when that finished documentary is going to be as well? But anything else you want to add before we, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, the second half of this year is when the documentary is set to be released, and they're going to be distributing it to either Netflix, Amazon. They don't know yet, but we're hoping to have a big impact. And I appreciate them for inviting me on for the opportunity to be in a documentary with John Deaton, who's now going to be running for U.S. Senate, is pretty exciting, along with all of the other legends in the community. And I think it's going to be a beautiful story that they are able to put together. And so, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And I want to give a shout out to your community. I think that both of our communities will resonate a lot. It seems like you're tapped in on kind of the same frequency that I am as well, too, where we're just trying to bring folks attention to the opportunities at hand here. And it's not just in digital asset. I have been talking about with my community about surviving this recession, making sure that if we need to start a side hustle, if we want to scale up our business, or even just getting a raise at the job we have now. I started warning that the bear market for crypto was coming at the end of 2021. And then when we were heading into a recession, they decided to not call it a recession anymore in 2022, right? We had the technical definition that was met, but it was politically incorrect and it would have offended somebody. So now we don't call it a recession anymore. But back then, I was letting my audience know, guys, this inflation's not going away, and we can't just sit on our XRP and wait around and pray that it goes up in price. We got to have other parts of our program as well.
That's right.
So now I've had a few years to really hone my craft and my understanding on the broader financial markets as well. So we're talking stocks, equities, commodities. And so I try to bring it all together with the current events. And then in an effort of full transparency, I don't shill anything to my community. I have community resources at my website. If people want to use those, it does help us support. But I just try to show folks in a fully transparent effort, hey, I picked up a few of these cryptos. This is how I'm running my business, and this is how I'm protecting my family. God willing, we can make it through to the other side of this thing.
I love it. And there's one more thing I want you, I'm not sure if you can listen to what I'm actually playing here on the stream. There's one thing I want to have you listen to and then get your feedback on this if you don't mind. I'm not sure when this came out, but it's Brad Garlinghouse talking about a possible or, in a future XRP ETF.
So you would welcome an XRP ETF then?
We would certainly welcome it, and I think it's inevitable that there'll be, multiple ETFs around different tokens. And I think you'll even see ETFs potentially around baskets that also, I think, further diversify that risk.
Given there's so much excitement around the ETF dynamic here, are you in talks with the largest issuers, particularly BlackRock, to get this done?
Well, I'm not going to comment on that. I know BlackRock has said some things publicly. We think it makes sense for the XRP community overall.
So to hear Brad say that after being asked that question, will there be a XRP ETF? He says, you've heard things with BlackRock talking about. He thinks it's important for the XRP community to have a possible XRP ETF. What do you think that could mean for XRP as a whole and those who hold XRP?
Yeah, I believe it's inevitable. Just like Brad said, you already have Grayscale that has their large cap fund. That's a fund that has like 6 different cryptos, and they just added XRP back to it. These are the same types of funds that Grayscale's rolling in. They got their spot Bitcoin ETF, and they can roll funds like that into an ETF as well. So it doesn't have to be just an XRP ETF, but it is inevitable, just like Brad said. And what I look back on is history. What history tells us is that when gold and silver got their respective ETFs, gold went up 5x or 500%, and silver went up 10x, 1000%. I believe that digital assets can do even better because they haven't had exposure for thousands of years like gold and silver. We've only had exposure for digital assets for a little over a decade. And now we're finally opening up the floodgates of liquidity from Wall Street and institutional investors. I think that we are going to well outperform that. And that's going to be the space as a whole. XRP is definitely going to benefit as well.
I love it. Final thoughts, Zach. Let everybody know where they can find you. Obviously, I pulled up your X and your YouTube. Now, you do offer some educational things through your platform. Can you talk about where people can find you, your websites, and then also, will people be able to see you in Las Vegas? Are you speaking? If they want to come up and take a picture or anything like that, are you open to that? So talk about where they can find you, XRP Las Vegas, and your educational platform.
Yeah, so if anybody, well, of course I put out free content every single day. I'm trying to get it out there as often as we can. And on our private investment community is sharing ideas on their businesses, their investments, and that's where folks can get in touch with me. And I share my trades, I share business decisions, I share the investments, I share the private equity that I'm going to be looking at. We're also talking about putting together real estate as well. And that's all done in my private Patreon and Discord community. If folks want to get access to that, just go to my website, zachrector.com, and we'd be happy to get you guys taken care of. Otherwise, like I said, my website's straightforward. It's community resources, and it's a way to get in touch with me, zachrector.com. Other than that, I will be in Vegas, and I'm here to help Brad in any way that he needs my help. Yet I know he's already got a big hitter lineup of speakers, and so really looking forward to attending Vegas once again. And absolutely, if folks see me there, come up and take a picture. And I'm looking forward to meeting more of the XRP community in person. I had a blast last year, and I cannot wait for XRP Vegas this year.
Well, I've got your website pulled up. Man, it's next level. You guys make sure you check out my friend, my brother, Zach Rector. Zach, thank you so much for being on, brother. It means the world to me. Look forward to having you back on again in the near future. Keep doing all you're doing, and I look forward to that finished documentary, which you started it as well.
Thank you, Jay. It's been my pleasure.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Guys, Zach Rector, legend. Appreciate him in a major way. Definitely appreciate him coming on and all that he's doing for the XRP and really crypto community as a whole. So, you know how we do it, guys, here. Thank you so much, Kat. I've always got to recognize my family. Kat, I appreciate you. I think there's a lot of people here today, so it's going to be hard for me to go through everybody, but I tell you guys what, we can never have, Sly Fox, what's up? My sister Liz Herrera, my sister Kat. I'm going to try to do my best anyway. Marvin Davis, Earth Angel, what's up, sis? My brother Jermaine, Maine's in the house. What's up, Jermaine? My brother's in the house. Appreciate you in a major way and all your support. Can't wait for you to come out here and visit. We got Blockchain Monkeys, Liz Herrera. Let's see who else we got in here. JC, Baller Not One. Let's see, I said Tiffany Serranos. Bullish Bird, Brendan Dobbin. We got Nest Force. We've got Crypto Navigator. Matter of fact, guys, make sure you guys check us out. I'll be live with Crypto Navigator tomorrow, live on his show. We got some actually big stuff coming up, guys. So Crypto Navigator tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll also be going live myself at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In addition to that, guys, if you get a chance, make sure you go check out our Crypto for Life merch store. Get yourself some incredible merch. We've got some amazing stuff over there, from mugs to shirts to hats to a little bit of everything. I think somebody the other day asked if we had a Crypto for Life thong. I don't think so, but hey, to each his own. I'm just kidding, guys. So also, you guys can see where it's official. John Deaton officially running for Senate at Deaton for Senate. Boom, it's on and cracking, guys. I'm super, super excited about that, what that means or represents for all of us. Also, Thursday, shouts out to Zach Rector. Thursday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to be live with my guys over at Black Swan, Versan, Edo Farina. We're going to be live. You guys, we have a show every single Thursday at 12 p.m. And by the way, oh my God, I almost forgot. We have a celebrity guest. We have a celebrity, big time celebrity crypto guest. I can't say who it is. I wish I could. Versan told me who it was. I was like, what? You got who on the show? So this Thursday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you guys tune in. It's going to be myself, Edo Farina, Versan, and a special guest. What happened to my, did I already pass my deal? Maybe I passed it already. I was trying to show you guys where we go every day. Let's see if I can find it real quick, guys. So it's called The Standard with your boy James, a.k.a. Six8Jay, Versan, Edo Farina. Is going to be absolutely incredible. I thought, where's our, he was on here somewhere. So anyways, he sent me the, this is one here. I don't know where it's at, but anyways, make sure you guys check it out. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Now, in addition to that, we have a special guest coming on right after that at 1 p.m. So I'm going to be on 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with Versan and Edo and our special celebrity guests. And then I'll also have at 1 p.m., I've got a special interview. I know I don't mean to make you guys sick here trying to flash through this, but there's a lot of content that I was going to cover. I almost feel like I should come back on, but we'll do it tomorrow. I'll cover a lot of this stuff tomorrow. And that will be with Will Fix. So Will Fix, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, if I can find that. And Will Fix, this dude is absolutely incredible. He's one of my top guys I like listening to as well. Super bullish on, good Lord, where's he at? It's in here somewhere. Will Fix. Oh, man, where's Will Fix at here? Did I pass him up? I cannot believe this is that far down. Huh. All right, guys. Well, I can't find my, but it's going to be Thursday. Here it is. Good God, it took forever. Thursday, 1 p.m. Pacific. I know it says right here, it says 12 p.m., but it's actually 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Will Fix. So I'm going to have to redo this one because I see where I put 12 p.m. 12 p.m. is going to be with the Edo and those guys and the celebrity crypto guests. And then following that 1 hour after that, I'll get through that as fast as I can, and then we'll be right on with Will Fix. This guy's an absolutely legend in the game as well, so I'm super excited about that. So make sure you guys tune in. Again, Crypto Navigator tomorrow evening, our show as scheduled tomorrow at 12, and then we've got a heavy day coming in on Thursday. So appreciate you guys in a major way. Let's see, Blockchain Monkeys is here. Who else is here? Brandon, I got to get up out of here, guys. We're over an hour already. Let's see, Crypto Navigator. Let's see, did I get everybody already? JC, Ness Force, Rashad Williams, Mike Owens. We've got Marvin Davis. I think I might have said Marvin. Brendan Diamond. I think I said that as well. Let's see, anybody else that I covered? My beautiful queen, Jeanette. What's up, Jeanette? My baby. Greatest lady on planet Earth, EARF. Let's see, anybody else who's in here? We got my sister Liz, one of the greatest supporters we have. Appreciate you in a major way. Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Gary. I know you watched that interview with Gary Gensler, we got Big Bro 10 in the house. Who else we got in here? Guys, this is for the Crypto for Life family. This is for all of those who follow Zach. This is for the IBF. For all of you guys that are here, appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Here you go. This is for you.
Tag it up, does it like it is. Got them switching gears in Ferrari with the tents. On some bullet shit, stop crying, start buying, getting bags. I ain't lying, money multiplying, call it rocket science. Hey. I'm so tired of this crypto control.
We're so tired of this crypto control. That's what me and Zach Rector was talking about, guys. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then catch me later on with Crypto Navigator. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Hope that you guys enjoyed that incredible interview. We got many, many more to come. Super excited. It's your boy James, a.k.a. Six8Jay. Until next time, peace.